My name is Samson, and I am a survivor of human trafficking. I come from Africa, Zambia. I came to the United States in 1998 with a singing group that was tricked into human trafficking. In my group, there was 12 of us, and we all lived in a room 10 by 10. That was the size of the room, and 12 boys sleeping just on the floor in a room 10 by 10. And the people that brought us over, he was a preacher, and my group was a singing group, singing a cappella gospel singing group. They cut off communication with our parents. We were not able to communicate with our parents, and started putting us on the road, like to sing from morning to night, just doing different venues. And after that, it kind of started slowly by the men asking us, "Do you guys like to swim?" And we said, "Yeah, we would love to go, learn how to swim." And he went and bought picks and shovels and gave us picks and shovels to dig a swimming pool by hand. And slowly after that, a lot of other people that worked for him started abusing us. It was mostly like painful for me because I was the oldest in the group, and I had to look after the kids that were 11 years old, and I was 16 at the time. And going through the whole situation, they were kind of coming to me crying, do something, and my hands were tied. It was a painful situation, and I wouldn't want anybody else to go through this same situation that I went through. Now that I'm doing a lot better, I go around and I talk about human trafficking to raise awareness around St. Louis area and around the United States, to help people that are going through the same situation like me, or to help people raise awareness so people can know, because this really happens in homes. Could be a home right next to your house, and if you see things or see your neighbors doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, or have somebody at their home that you're not sure of, ask a lot of questions so people know more about this. A lot of people talk about sex trafficking just with the girls, but it also happens with men and little boys.
My name is Earl Childress. I'm a second-generation hoteler. We heard a little bit about sex trafficking in the 1990s, but it really became relevant after the millennium. I would say on the West Coast, I was in California, on the West Coast, we were trained that, especially in LA and San Diego, that sex traffickers were taking young ladies and they were moving south of the border. But then I moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and then what I found out was that in the Midwest, around 2014, there was a high rate, but actually started in 2010, a high rate of young ladies came up missing in the St. Louis area, especially in the St. Louis, Berkeley area, where over 34 young ladies between the age 15 to 20 came up missing over a 10-year period.
My name is obviously Jared Queen. It's J-A-R-E-D, Queen, Q-U-E-E-N. I'm employed by the St. Charles County Police Department in O'Fallon, Missouri. And I've been employed there for 9 years. The last 3 of which I have been detached to the St. Louis County Police Department and assigned to their Human Trafficking Task Force. We get our cases in mainly 3 different ways. The most obvious one would think of is stings. So we'll go out into hotels and go to certain websites and contact mainly women. I'm going to use the female pronouns for victims and the male pronouns for our suspects because that's generally what we see. But I do want to make it very clear that those are interchangeable. We have had female suspects and male victims.
They began to tell us that certain websites we need to go to identify, to look and see the young ladies who were posted on the website. Have we seen them in our hotels? And what I've noticed and what during the training we found out that in the lower economy brands, you see that the sex trafficking and prostitution is much higher than you do in the upper tier hotels or the brands that cost more. Not saying that it doesn't happen there, but on those upper brands, they're more sophisticated, and so there are more things you have to identify. Where with the economy brands, the first thing they're doing, they're snatching the young ladies up, and then they'll immediately put them into prostitution, and they'll run them out of the hotels for a couple of months if they don't get caught. And then if they believe that they're a good product, then they'll look to ship them out of the country.
So we'll contact females on these websites and get them to come out and agree to a sex act in exchange for money. And then, statutorily speaking, our case is made. So at that point, we attempt to find out if they're being trafficked. If they are night stops. We go into investigating the case. We try and find the bad guy. Usually he's there. He'll come back to retrieve the woman. And then we take him down and investigate our case. Generally, we will try and get in custody warrants issued the next day through whatever jurisdiction, be it federal, state, in St. Charles County, St. Louis County. We've had cases issued in St. Louis City before, so we work everywhere.
They begin to post pictures of them, actually take video and cameras and photo pictures and begin to post them on back pages and Craigslist and begin to advertise and solicit them. These young ladies are underage. Many are under 21, but if you go to these pages, you'll see them. And we receive most of that training from the local police departments. Once we identify if a young lady or a young woman is in the property, then what we do, we then notify the police department, and the police many times will come in and rescue the young ladies, or they'll monitor to see, they'll set up a sting to see who are the Johns coming into the property, and then they'll arrest the Johns before they get into the rooms, and then after that they'll go in for a rescue to take up the young ladies.
In my experience, victims, they don't necessarily, I hate saying they don't want to come forward, but they're not going to identify themselves as a victim right away. So people ask all the time, how many victims of sex trafficking are there? And I said, well, you can't quantify that, because some victims just want to move on. They want to close that chapter of their life and be done with it. So some don't come forward. A lot of these victims are very manipulated, controlled either through mind manipulation or drugs. And I hate to say it, but a lot of them do decide to go back to that life, because, for lack of a better phrase, it's better the devil that you know than the one you don't. At least they know what they're getting into. Unfortunately, sometimes they have a hard time getting a job or a place to stay, and they at least know, by going back to it, what they can do to get their money, how much they have to make. So it may take a few times for us to find a victim and talk to her or him and say, hey, look, we're here, we can help you, but at the end of the day, we can't force them. It's their decision. Ultimately, it seems like we do have a pretty good ability to get through to them and help them realize we're not there to put them in jail. But it does sometimes it can take a while.
My name is Christy Bywater.
My name is Jessica May.
I'm Kimberly.
I work at Eden's Glory.
Back in August, we became officially incorporated as Renewed Strength Ministries.
Eden's Glory is an organization, like a restoration home to help women who've been rescued out of human trafficking.
This organization is going to be to primarily transform the lives of young males that have been affected by sex trafficking or exploitation.
I became the lead house manager of the home, so I spent my weeknights just living at the house with these ladies, with our residents who were brought into the home.
The home itself, it'll be a residential home. We'll have house parents that will stay there with the boys 24/7. They'll be in the house. We'll also have other staff that will be working in and around the home that will have contact with the boys. We will contract therapy services, like she had mentioned, the group sessions, but also one-on-one counseling.
Basic life skills, like teaching them how to cook, how to sew. We teach them how to take care of a home, because a lot of these women have never been taught how to do that. We
will be doing homeschooling, so the education, because the boys will come in at different ages, different development stages, just different levels of education, and so we will need to tailor that. So each boy will have an individualized care plan for them.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions about human trafficking is the fact that most people think that it happens only in the big cities or overseas, that it doesn't happen right here in the United States.
Sex trafficking happens in rural cities, it happens in rural towns, it happens in big cities.
Is that you really wouldn't think it's right in your backyard. It really is. It happens in truck stops, hotels, little hotels.
Trafficking does not look just like you would see in the movies where a child is kidnapped and taken overseas. There is such a thing called familial trafficking, where parents will traffic their own children, siblings will traffic their siblings, boyfriends traffic their girlfriends.
Most of the women that I've worked with, their pimps, their first pimps were their own fathers.
Teachers preying on children. It is incredible and very sad and disturbing.
Runaways are actually very, very vulnerable to being trafficked. Young boys and girls, if they are running away, and it can happen within minutes or even hours. Someone will see them on the streets and simply just talk them into getting into their vehicle and saying, hey, I can get you into this and this and this. And really just lying and manipulating.
I met a young woman who was trafficked out of her home for 6 years by a gang member boyfriend, and she survived it, and now she's thriving and she's helping others. And but her story was so incredible, and she told me she never missed a day of school. Never missed a day of school. She was still in school. She was, had perfect attendance one year, and nobody knew this was happening to her. Honestly, to look at it from the eyes of a trafficker, people are a way better commodity than drugs. You can sell a person over and over and over, as opposed to a bag of weed or, a bag of cocaine or something, or heroin. Like, you can only sell that once, and then you have to buy it, you have to get more and sell it, but a person can be sold over and over and over.
I've been with this organization for 3 years, and 1 year we had set up a Christmas tree during Christmas time, and we had just got it all decorated, turned off all the lights and turned on the Christmas tree lights, and I had brought all the presents for all the ladies that evening. They were trying to peek through all of them. It was just really, really fun. And I looked at one of the residents, and she had started crying, and I looked at her and I said, "What's wrong?" And she was looking at the tree, and she's like, "It's so beautiful, and there are presents under the tree that are actually for me this time." She said, "That's never happened before." And it broke my heart, because she had just never experienced that Christmas environment that I've experienced my whole life.
The recruitment age is typically between the ages of 11 and 13, and my daughter is 12. So to think that there would be a man out there who would want to have sex with my daughter just breaks my heart. And so to think, if I had a young boy who was just as vulnerable at that age, that there would be a grown man who would want to have sex with my son. Who does that?
I think that it's most important to know that if people see something, speak up. We, the police, would much rather investigate an incident that ends up not being anything than if somebody in the public sees something and they think, well, I'm not sure if that's it or not.